Hey guys, it's Asuna from 100 Thieves, and I'll be going over my settings, making sure they're up to date and you guys know what I'm using. And if you want to replicate it, you can. I'll also be saying some tips and tricks on why I use certain things along the way. Yeah, get into it. So first things first is enemy highlight color. I like to use yellow to Draconia. Sorry if I butchered that, but yeah, I've tried the other ones, but they didn't with me. So just went with this one. And then for my sense, I've slowly been lowering it throughout my career. I started off with 0.292 at 1400. Now I'm at 0.26 at 1400. Played a little bit higher like this season in 2023, but since I played a little bad, I lowered it. Yeah, because I felt like it. And then for my scope sense, I've been messing with this off season, and I've been trying to lower it because I have really high sense. So I'm trying to make sure my scope sense is lower so I can hit the easier shots. I think it'll probably mean miss a lot of the harder ones. That's fine as long as you can hit the consistent shots. I recommend messing with your scope sense if you have a really high sense. And maybe if you have a really low sense, you can maybe up it. I don't know how it works with that end of the spectrum, but yeah, that's what I would do. And then I've kept 0.9 ADS for a while now. For map, it doesn't really matter what kind of map you have as long as you're comfortable with it and you can see everything. So mainly you can see everything. Even if you're uncomfortable with it at the start, I'd recommend as long as you can see everything, you are good. So I do fixed always the same off, and then this. If there's no map where I can't see everything, looks a little small at first, probably, or icon looks really big but looks really small at the same time. But I don't know, it works well with me, and I recommend having mini-map vision cones on. Really strong. I don't know why you would ever have this off. If your teammates are ever no-comming, you can use see what they're holding. And then I do right, off, 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 and corpses on and blood off. You might want to have blood on if you can see through walls a lot better. If you're like thinking someone, you might see the blood splash, but it's preference, and I can see it when it's off anyways. I like bullet tracers on personally, nothing else really here, but bullet tracers are preference. Some people like them off, some people like them on, but that's just me. But yeah, mainly the sense thing. I'm trying to figure out like what to use. Controls, I don't do anything crazy here except the mouse wheel down on my jump key, and then for my use and equip, I don't have any second keys. But I recommend if you play Raze, have a second key. If it makes it easier for you to satchel, just experiment with that. And then if you're playing Jet a lot, having a second key for your Jet dash would be really strong as well. But I haven't had any problems so far, and that's what I do. Also, if I'm going pretty fast, just pause at any time in the video. And yeah, for my equipment, I've tried a couple of things here. Mainly the sniper rifle aim and operator zoom. Might be better to toggle hold. You just want to experiment with these. I don't use that at the moment, just mainly because I don't op, so I don't really need to figure it out. But if you're an opper, I recommend trying to, figure out which one's more comfortable for you. Hold definitely feels a lot better on the marshal for me, but toggle feels better on the op. So, just preference really. But yeah, that's about it. For voice chat, I recommend using a key where you can press with your thumb. It'll help you be able to talk while also moving and shooting. So I use V. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, nothing else here. Have a good key where you can ping if you need to. Doesn't hurt. Interface. There's something I changed here recently, and it was my map and map key. Basically, the reason I changed it is I was having a lot of times where I accidentally pressed caps lock, and it would just like stop me from shooting. So I changed that recently, and it made it so I wouldn't accidentally like shoot, open up my mini map, and then boom, I stopped shooting. So now I have it just on M. Really important if you want to spam ping bomb and for your teammate. Besides that, I don't think there's anything else here. Yeah. Crosshair. My last settings videos, they didn't have this, so yeah. But right now I'm using 1213. I've been using this my entire career, basically. ADS, small dot. I noticed it's easier. And then for my sniper scope, I use a 0.75. I don't know, just feels not too big and not too small, just right. And I like white because it doesn't blend in with many things. I've tried green and cyan before. Cyan was a problem on Icebox, and green was a problem when I played Viper a little bit. So yeah, that's what I do with crosshair. Other crosshairs, dot, obviously. 1420. I switch between these two, and then the rest of these are just, just troll crosshairs really. But just mainly these three right here, 1213 dot and 1420. Yeah, mainly sticking with this one right now. It's been treating me pretty well, so I'm playing switching off. I played full screen. I just went to full screen for the tutorial that I'm doing right here. But yeah, I have on plus boost. I like to limit my FPS in settings where I'm like all tap in the game, but I have it still running. So yeah, so if I'm in the menu or I'm in the background, no point. And then I don't know what this is exactly, but I just limit it. As long as your FPS is not limited in game, it's not too bad. Because you don't want to be like, let's say Valorant open, you're watching a YouTube video, you don't want to like, make your PC go vroom. Make sure you have multi-threaded multi-threaded rendering on. When I first started playing this game, I didn't have it on. Not this game, sorry, CSGO. And let's just say I was playing on 100 FPS for a while until I fixed it. Low, just because I want to have the most FPS. I have improved clarity on, because I read if you have a high-end GPU, we recommend keeping this on. I said why not, and then Vignetta. But yeah, the rest of this is pretty straightforward. I have text only for here, and then hacker loss, just in case, and then shooting error. They added this recently. Not recently, but I didn't have it on my last settings video. But I have this on, so you can keep track of like how your bullets are, like the shooting error that you have in them. I mean, it literally says there, but either way, if you have a lot of blue shooting error on each shot, that's bad. You want it only to be orange, because then that's the gun itself. If you see a lot of blue, then that's a problem. But basically, you want to make sure that you're only having orange, and it's to see if you're properly counter strafing or properly stopping on your shot. I recommend having this on, and if you're having trouble, like, you know, making sure that your shots are accurate, try to see if you are, you know, stopping at the right time and stuff. It disappears pretty quickly, so you'll have to check after every def. For your sounds, you can have anything really, but I have HRTF on now. I'm going to be trying it for the past 3 months, I think I've been trying it. So I'm going to keep it for the next year and see how it goes. Yeah, HRTF has been pretty good so far. I don't think there's much in here. I think we already went over all this. So yeah, I don't know why you would have any of this off. I don't really know any of this. Just have it on. And that should be about it in game. So I'll be going into my NVIDIA settings and my Windows settings. First thing first, NVIDIA control panel. I use the advanced image settings. If you don't really know what you want to use, just do performance here. But I don't really mess with too much here, except, where is it? Power management mode for maximum performance and low latency mode. I shouldn't click on these things, they just go crazy. But yeah, low latency mode off. You might want to try out different settings for this. And then power management mode for maximum performance. Rest of this, don't touch. But if you want, you know what you're doing, you can try. 240 hertz. Make sure you're playing on. Make sure that whatever your refresh rate, you're actually getting that FPS. Because then it'll be way too choppy if you're not. So if you don't get 240 FPS, then try to use 144. That's just at least what I've noticed. I don't really mess with any of these settings, but you can try. A lot of people have digital vibrance, but one way or the other. But yeah. And then for my monitor settings, I have DIAC off. Some people were asking why I have it off. I just haven't really experimented much with it, and I don't really see motion blur, or I don't really know what it exactly solves, and I don't really want to try it on just in case it messes with me. And I don't think it's really a big deal if you have it on or off. I don't think it's going to make or break you, honestly. A lot of these settings, in my opinion, they're important, but at the same time, they're not going to make you rank up really high. But yeah. Brightness 87, black equalizer 0, color vibrance 10, low blue light 0, gamma 3, low temperature normal, contrast 50, sharpness 5, AMA high. And then this is what I'm using right now. Something crazy. And then I'm just going to go over this real quick. This is how my DPI. And then I make sure that the sensitivity stages are on, because on stage sometimes it's a little buggy. But yeah. And then polling rate. Some people were asking me about this. I have it set to 1000. The only reason why I include this. A lot of people were asking. And yeah, only reason why I'm showing this. And then calibration. No idea what any of this stuff does. But yeah. Just making sure if there's anything that was like missed. But yeah, sorry if I went slow or quick. Just you can skim through the video if anything was quick or too slow, and if anything was too fast, you can pause. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, and thank you. Hope to see you guys on stage tomorrow. Next year.